Thank you for tuning in to the 2025 Maryland Crokinole Championship, a Tier 2 National Crokinole Association event hosted by the Charm City Crokinole Club. In this semifinal match, we have on your left Jamie Harter with the bracelet on, and across the board from him, Darin Van Gammeren. Harter just won the Crokinole World Cup in Budapest, Hungary alongside Linda Wendt, and Van Gammeren placed 4th at the World Crokinole Championship doubles alongside Brandon Osborne. And at the table playing against them are the One Cheek Wonders. Ian Shaw at the far side of the table, Eric Mammen across the board from him. This team most recently placed 2nd at the US Open Crokinole Championship. Players will have a volley to decide the first shot, and this will be a race to 9. With the countdown players shoot, and the One Cheek Wonders will be taking the hammer for the first round of this match. Again, the first team to hit the 9-point goalpost will be going on to the finals to play the winner of the other semifinal match. Harter going a little bit long on his first shot. Heavy hanger opportunity for Shaw. Doesn't get it. Van Gammeren now trying to get played back to the inside. Hits a bit of a post, nearly, but not quite. Mammen has a few options. He could just roll up nicely between the posts here. We'll see when he moves. Staying far to the outside. There might be a lane for Harter to get in here. We will see. Now Harter also placed 2nd at the Crokinole World Cup. Just staying on the board there. He placed 2nd, losing only to Linda Wendt, who was the double champion out in Budapest. So a few accolades under Harter's belt. Players taking out the flashlight to see whether that is on the line or not. Must be very close as 2 flashlights now on the board as players trying to reach a consensus. I might stand corrected. It looks like that is out of play. That could be huge by, you'd have to assume, millimeters. Shaw with an open board opportunity, looking to make this hurt, and he does, going up in the cup now. Pressure on the team of slow and steady, but Van Gammeren coming up a little bit short on his open 20 chance. Mammen now very comfortable to play some defense, with his partner having scored a 20, just 1 shot to go. Doesn't need to stay in the 15. Might be going for a rollaway here. A lot of action off the post. Most certainly not how he drew that one up. And we'll see what Harter does here. Might be a backboard. Very nice. Just touching that orange, going in.
I don't think it's there, but maybe it's there.
Play on the board, so the One Cheek Wonder still very comfortable.
Two discs on with hammer, right? Yeah. And I don't think that's especially...
Ian talking about not seeing the 20. I think that's what he was saying. Rolling to the outside, very nice, only leaving Van Gammeren 1 to work with. And that orange piece in the 15 is not in a super nice spot. Looks like he's just going to punch it through. Might see that short angle in for the 20. Not quite, hits and sticks in that spot. And Mammen should be able to roll this to the outside. Landing just between the posts. Leaving Harter with no nice options. Looks like he'll be going for that angle in. I think of the two, that is the better option. Cleaner line, but he catches a post. Shaw more than content to just hit and stick on the outside. Only real option for Van Gammeren is to power through his own. Now that orange piece on the 5 to 10 line might come in handy for Harter when it comes back to his shot. And we'll probably see him line up for this. The other one he has to go off the post. This one at the very least should be a clean angle in. Never a gimme, but it's certainly there. Catches a post. Knocking it offline. Shaw's biggest priority will be to get away, but he hits and sticks in that spot.
How do you see it?
And on the upside, not an easy one. It looks like Van Gammeren sees a double. But he could leave Harter stranded on the outside. He'll need a little bit of push to get this in, so that Harter isn't shooting through Hogan's or anything like that. Nice job. Punches through, gets a double. And Mammen could tap it from the outside, but it looks like he will play to the inside instead, looking for the off. He gets it. Also a nice roll, far away from the center. No easy options for Harter. Gets the simple takeout. And back to Shaw. That is in an awkward spot. We'll see how he approaches this. Now Ian Shaw and Eric Mammen near 20 and staying to the far side of the board, so far away from Van Gammeren. The One Cheek Wonders also placed second at the 2025 Crokinolympics, losing only to Jeremy and Andrew in the finals. So this team, we've seen them at the top before, and we could see them in another finals match depending on how this one goes. It looks like at the very least they have the first round under wraps as Mammen just needs a takeout. Van Gammeren ending up on the outside. That does it. The One Cheek Wonders taking the first 2 points. Seeing some nice shots from Slow and Steady, but not enough to make up for the discrepancy in 20s. They were tied in the 20s, but other team with the hammer. A huge thank you to the Charm City Crokinole Club for hosting the Maryland Doubles Crokinole Championship. Also a lot of support from the Delaware Club. So huge thank you to all of them. If you'd like to learn more about Charm City, make sure to check them out. Link is in the description below. Play on the board. One Cheek Wonders up 1 in the cup, but playing the 15, so Slow and Steady certainly still in this. We'll see if Shaw is able to roll away. Just enough that Van Gammeren doesn't have anything nice to work with. His biggest priority will be keeping play in the 15. Rolling a little bit out, and it looks like Mammen has access to that piece from outside the post. A little bit of a slice, but places that beautifully. I'm almost positive there is no angle in here for Jamie Harter. And it looks like he'll be lining up to assist. Interesting. Good attempt, but going a little bit far. Van Gammeren might have that up the left line of his quadrant, but it's going to be very tight. We might be looking at an angle and opportunity from Ian. Beautiful. He also bumps that just enough that up the line may no longer be an option for Van Gammeren. Looking for another opportunity at this 20, but again, ending up on the outside of the board. Mammen content to hit and stick there. He could have done a little bit more work to get it in a more awkward spot, but this is still plenty enough work that Harter has to do, nearly converting the 20, but not quite.
Well, I guess yeah, you're.
Shaw, I think, commenting on the fact that they are pretty comfortable, so they don't need to fight for a 20 right now. Rolled away, but not enough. We could see a drop back here from Van Gammeren. Not quite able. Leaving the backboard chance for Mammen. Can he convert? He doesn't get it either. Opportunities being passed around the board. Harter will be looking to convert on this 20. He gets it with the off. I didn't think that was going to go. I thought it was going to be a touch. Very nicely done, but Slow and Steady not out of the woods yet. They will need more mistakes out of their opponents like that.
Yep.
It's going to be a tough 20, but Van Gammeren seems confident in it.
Yes.
Nicely done. See the fist bump out of him. Excitement out of his partner as well as we're down to the final 5 shots. Harter tying it up in the cup. Down to the final piece for each player. Pressure on Shaw as he goes long. Tables very quickly turning as Slow and Steady, making up for a 220 discrepancy. Darin landing beautifully between the posts. Not a lot that Mammen can do here. He's going to be looking to catch a post for a 20. That's a one way he puts significant pressure on Jamie in his final shot. Hits the post but bounces back. As long as Harter can demote that piece, he should be good. He doesn't need to get it off. He just needs to end up in a higher scoring region. A little bit tricky through that diagonal, but should be... Oh no. An unfortunate final shot, and the tables turn again. We're going to see some highlights, and forget about that last shot there. That's the best thing that the Slow and Steady can do is just move on. Still lots of game left, but Ian and Eric going up 4-2-0 now.
Thank you.
Van Gammeren opening up with a 20. And Mammen going long. No easy conversion here for Jamie. We'll see what he does with this. Rolls just a little bit, and that's all the opening that Shaw will need to convert here. Very nice. Closing the gap in the 20s. Full reset of the board as we are back to Van Gammeren. Unfazed. Drains another one. Mammen correcting his open 20s. And we are off to the races. Harter also finding his range. Now Mammen placed top 8 at the World Crokinole Championships in the singles division with what I would say is the best match from the quarterfinals. Unfortunately unsuccessful against Slater, but I highly recommend you give that match a watch. Van Gammeren going a bit long on his third open 20, I believe that was, and Mammen just keeping play on the board. Again, the one-cheek wonders with hammer. Harter trying to push in, but opening the door for Ian to get another 20. But it looks like he's discussing a roll away.
I think it's a.
Mammen saying the biggest priority is keeping theirs on, and ideally getting the off. I think Mammen knows that Van Gammeren is pretty dead on with his open 20s and doesn't want to leave any open boards for his opponent to his right. Van Gammeren with an unorthodox off, and it'll be up to Harter to get this back into the center. We'll see what he is able to do with this. Bit of a tricky angle in, but certainly doable. Hits a post and loses his shooter. Ian will be looking to make that hurt. And it does. Back to a 20s race. Van Gammeren refining his range, but they need a mistake out of the one-cheek wonders, and Mammen is not giving it. Could come down to these final 5 shots. I think one more 20 out of the one-cheek wonders, and they should be good. Van Gammeren comes up short.
No. Hammer's over here.
Ian pointing out that they have hammer. Mammen doesn't need to go for anything big. Gets away, and that is very nicely against the post. Even if Harter gets an off and a 20, all Shaw needs, and I'm realizing now on the scoreboard it says Sean, my bad everybody, but all he'll need is a valid shot. Final shot inconsequential, just looking to up the 20s count, which they do. Shaw and Mammen going up 6-0, seeing nice 20s from Shaw there in the highlight. This is a Tier 2 National Crokinole Association event as part of the 2025-26 NCAA Tour. If you want to learn more about upcoming events where you can tune in or where you can sign up or how your favorite players are doing, you can check that all out on the National Crokinole Association website. Link is in the description below. 5 open 20s around the board. Nobody is yet to miss. Looks like all the players have found their range, and no surprise that all the players here are very good open 20 shooters. But we see the mistake there as Van Gammeren goes long. Heavy hanger for Mammen here. Not sure we'll see a conversion. He doesn't necessarily need it. Going a little bit strong. It was there enough. You can't blame him for going for it. But nonetheless, 20 opportunity here for Jamie, just lipping out. And another heavy hanger left for Shaw this time. We'll see if he's able to convert on that. It's just on an awkward angle, it looks like, from this viewpoint of the camera. Deciding instead to take that dead on. And that looks like it lipped a little bit, but far enough away. I don't think Van Gammeren will be able to convert. I stand corrected. What a nice touch 20 from Van Gammeren. But over halfway through the shots on the outside, Mammen scores another open 20, worth just as much as the one that Darin hit. And it's going to be up to one of the two players to bring it in. Shaw does all the work for them. losing everything on the board. Open opportunity. Van Gammeren comes short. That was her chance. Mammen, surely to bring this back out. What a nice roll away here, Ian. Calling that what it is. Absolutely beautiful. Harter with no choice but to shoot through the house. Van Gammeren needs to angle this in. We know he loves his angle in, so never count DVG out. Not quite. He gets in the house, and it looks like the rollaway will be a little bit trickier for Mammen to get completely out, but he should be able to take away any good opportunities. That should do it. Harter's going to be really hard-pressed to get that back in. Yeah, that's not enough. Shaw will play to the far side of that piece. Very nicely done. Comes down to Van Gammeren's final shot. He might be able to get a 20, but it's such a Hail Mary. Can he hit it for the tie? Just flipped over, but it's not enough. The one-cheek wonders go up 8-0. They are now 1 point away from winning the semifinal match. This video coverage is provided to you by Tracey Boards, the official board builders for the World Crokinole Championships. To learn more, to buy your very own board, go to traceyboards.com. Link is in the description below. Heavy hanger opportunity here for Mammen. Doesn't get it, but rolls away ever so slightly. The one-cheek wonders with the hammer, so they are very content with play on the board. Might be looking for a way out right now, but that's what Jeremy would call a tempter. It could be a 20. Looks like Shaw will play this safe. Pushing in a little bit much, but I don't think close enough for Van Gammeren to have a 20. Gets nicely in front of a post. That'll be tough for Mammen to get the off. He might just settle for a touch and hope for a little bit of cleanup later. This is early in the game, so they don't need to clear that. But it looks like Mammen's taking the half-hole line to get that, but he loses his shooter, only demotes the white piece, and Harter can really make that hurt with an open 20 here. Goes long on the upside. Ian's most ideal line out of 20 there, blocked up by the white piece in the 10. So Ian very content to play to the outside. Looks like Van Gammeren seeing if there's anything he can do to mess with that 20 opportunity in the middle. But presumably blocked by a post, he'll be going for a simple takeout on the outside. He might have been trying to angle in to see if he could interfere. Be a really tough shot nonetheless. Mammen doesn't capitalize. Now the one-cheek wonders are getting into dangerous territory because with 3 pieces on for slow and steady, they will at some point need a double.
I don't think we have to right now. This isn't.
You hear Mammen talking about their need for a double.
There's a lot of
Shaw saying they don't necessarily need it, and it's high risk for him.
Yeah.
You see Mammen pointing out the single takeout for now, which Shaw is able to get. That was close. Almost stayed on, just went over the line, which is all they needed. Mammen is right. They will eventually need a double. Van Gammeren leaving Mammen a very similar situation to what they had, to what his partner had, just one shot to go. A double is certainly there. It's going to be tough. It really depends on how far in that white piece is to the 15 from Mammen's perspective. It might be tough to catch that on the right line for it to go out.
He tries to punch through, maybe it goes wrong.
Talking about punching through that one piece. We'll see if he's going for the double or not. Doesn't look like he was, but he doesn't get the off. Harter will just be looking to keep his piece on.
Doubles only.
Brings it in. How close is it? Mammen inspecting it. He shakes his head. I suppose that isn't close enough for Shaw to get an easy 20.
I don't even know if the 20
Especially with from the most ideal lane for it. A lot of pieces jamming him up. There's no way he gets that up the right side of his quadrant. Looks like Shaw is going for some cleanup now. This is the big thing they need. That was not the double I saw, but I can't wait for the replay on that. Very nicely done. Certainly not out of the woods yet, as Slow and Steady still has 40 points on the board. So at some point, the One Cheek Wonders will need to make up for a 20-point discrepancy.
What do you want to do instead?
Could be another double. Could be a 20. Only time will tell.
It's definitely risky.
Looks like they are talking about the double. It is
We can tie too, yeah.
awfully risky. And Shaw pointing out they can tie. If they tie, it's 9-1 and they win the semifinal match. Mammen lining up a shot. Beautiful double. Those are two doubles that I can't wait to see the replay on. Down to the final shot for each player. Shaw and Mammen do have the hammer. Harter needs to roll it over to Van Gammeren. Doesn't roll enough. Shaw more than content to just keep play away from Van Gammeren. You're going to see him roll here. It depends how far away he can get. I think that's enough. He didn't need to roll much at all. That post is in the way enough that it's such a tricky in for Van Gammeren to get back into the house. And final shot. He needs more than just to get in. He needs a 20 to put any pressure on Mammen. Not enough. A great in. But all Mammen needs to do is clear one piece and stay in the 15. He does that, and we'll see if he's able to. With a 20. The One Cheek Wonders have won this semifinal match at the 2025 Maryland Crokinole Championship. We're going to see this double here. He just glanced it. Beautiful shot. Another double here, and we're going to see that final 20 from Mammen. Unnecessary, but absolutely gorgeous. Congratulations and well played to both teams. A tough-fought battle. Mammen and Shaw will go on to face the winner of the other semifinal match, which is between Jeremy and Garret Tracey, Gare and Gerbear, versus America, which is Sean Haggerty, the Canadian, partnered with Ryan Burr, the American. So make sure you stay tuned for that, as that will be out very shortly. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to join the Crokinole universe. My name is Garret, and as always, happy flicking.